pardons with an Autopen. I don't think Biden knew anything about it.
Joe Biden has Trump fighting ghosts. It looks like Dark Brandon's final move is coming back to haunt Dumpy Don more than that second quarter pounder he put down last night.
But this thing you've pulled off, it's amazing.
The walking billboard we have as a president is getting into the habit of going on long rants and making decrees, and then his team actually tries to make it happen. Of course, all of us regular people just call that being a dictator. But this time, he's declared that all of Joe Biden's last-minute pardons are actually null and void because they allegedly used an Autopen. I'll explain to you guys why Autopen is at the root of this issue, and reveal the culprit behind this whole operation. If you're enjoying the video, make sure to like the video and double check that you're subscribed. Generally, these rants are in the morning, but Don the Con was up late last night going on a tirade. He said the pardons that Sleepy Joe Biden gave to the Unselect Committee of political thugs and many others are hereby declared void, vacant, and of no further force or effect because of the fact that they were done by Autopen. In other words, Joe Biden did not sign them, but more importantly, he did not know anything about them. The necessary pardoning documents were not explained to or approved by Biden. And then he just goes on a rant repeating himself. Basically, he's trying to undo all of the pardons that Biden gave to his family and members of the January 6th Commission. Some folks thought it was a little slimy that Biden was pardoning his family at the last second, but when you're fighting a trash monster, you might have to get a little bit dirty. And it's proven itself to be a good move, as Trump has made it his personal mission to punish anybody who's ever stepped in his way, or in the way of his most ardent and violent supporters, January 6ers. We all know that the group of maniacs and morons that stormed the Capitol have been let loose on America thanks to Trump. People who committed real crimes and have gone on to commit more crimes. Unlike the witch hunt into the Biden family, which has only turned up a gun charge for Hunter. I mean, what is this, Reagan and the Black Panthers? But that's not going to stop Trump from acting like Joe Biden was El Chapo.
About the Biden Autopen, are those executive orders, those pardons from the former president now null and void?
Well, I think so. It's not my decision. That'll be up to a court. But I would say that they're null and void because I'm sure Biden didn't have any idea that it was taking place. And somebody was using an Autopen to sign off and to give pardons to, as an example, it's just one example, but the J6 Unselect Committee. Think of it, they gave pardons with an Autopen. I don't think Biden knew anything about it. And what they did is they deleted and destroyed all of the information that took them over a year to get. And the reason they did that is because the information was very incriminating about them. Like Nancy Pelosi, it was determined conclusively that she knew about 10,000 soldiers and turned it down. And if we used 500 soldiers, you would have had no problem, let alone 10,000. The young lady that said that I grabbed these powerful young Secret Service agents by the neck.
Now, I'm not sure about this whole grabbed him by the neck fiasco, but when it comes to Trump undoing the pardons, it looks like he's honed in on the Autopen as the method by which he's going to undo all of Biden's actions. Not just pardons, but maybe even more.
It looked like we had an Autopen for a president, and we would have been better off if we had, probably. But it looks to me like, you know, that's a big subject. I'm sure you won't ask about that, but the whole subject of Autopen, did he know what he was doing? Did he authorize it? Or is this somebody in an office, maybe a radical left lunatic, just signing whatever that person wants? That's not what it's all about. I never use it. I mean, we may use it as an example to send some young person a letter, because it's nice, you know, we get thousands and thousands of letters and letters of support for young people, for people that aren't feeling well, etc. But to sign pardons and all of the things that he signed with an Autopen is disgraceful.
Now, you may be thinking what I thought when I first saw this. What the hell is an Autopen? But this Autopen situation has been cooking on the right wing for a while, and you might be not so surprised to find out who is behind the whole thing. The New York Post specifically has been pushing this narrative for the last month or so. Here's an article from March 14th. Biden sources suspect key aide may have abused Autopen as Trump's far more restrictive signing rules are revealed. Here's an earlier article from March 9th. Biden used Autopen's signature on many official White House documents, raising concerns over his awareness. They're essentially claiming that radical leftist aides took advantage of Joe Biden's declining health and went on a rampage signing documents that Joe Biden had never seen or heard of. This is ridiculous on its face, but it should be revealed to be an obvious farce when you scroll scroll down to see that the Conservative Heritage Foundation's oversight project were the ones who uncovered the situation. The same Heritage Foundation that's behind Project 2025. If that doesn't make it obvious that this whole Autopen situation is just a facade in order to roll back Biden-era policies, then let me tell you right now, this is just a facade in order to roll back Biden-era policies. For one, Autopen is a convenient excuse to not just roll back the pardons that would allow him to prosecute the Jan 6 committee, but also various policies, laws, executive orders, whatever he can claim they used Autopen on and is therefore null and void, as if that's how any of this works. But the use of Autopen is not novel to Joe Biden. Here's an excellent article from Snopes debunking this whole Autopen situation. Biden may have signed documents with Autopen, like many presidents before him. US presidents have used Autopens since Thomas Jefferson. The first use of an Autopen to sign a law was Barack Obama. Even the National Archives are making a statement debunking the Heritage Foundation's alleged proof that Joe Biden used an Autopen. Of course, like Jesse Waters brags about, all of these claims and ideas start on social media, Facebook, X, Reddit, and then spread in the form of news on Fox and Newsweek and The Independent, and then eventually make their way all the way up to the presidency, even though the whole story lacks any kind of credible evidence. This started when the Oversight Project tweeted, again the Oversight Project by the Heritage Foundation, that whoever controlled the Autopen controlled the presidency. We gathered every document we could find with Biden's signature over the course of his presidency, all used the same Autopen signature. So they're saying we found everything that we could that he signed, and whoop, wouldn't you know it, they all used Autopen. How convenient. Now the article goes into detail about Biden's signature and about how he probably didn't even use Autopen on these documents. But what's most hilarious is that the official National Archives even says that official documents published in the Federal Register use a copy of the president's signature that comes from one graphic file, which is why they all look similar. And that's true for Donald Trump himself. In this example, you can see the same signature, same graphic file used multiple times. On top of that, Thomas motherfucking Jefferson used this wooden contraption to do an Autopen. So the idea that the use of an Autopen would make everything signed with one null and void is completely ridiculous and out of left field, something that can only come from the craven minds behind Project 2025. And this is a bit of a twofer for Trump because he's using this Autopen excuse as a way to concentrate his own powers. He's restricted the use of the Autopen within his own White House, instead opting to sign everything himself, which is going to, one, slow down government even more because we all know Trump loves to spend his time golfing, and two, makes it so that nothing happens without Trump himself being in the room. This paranoia and distrust of bureaucracy and attempting to concentrate powers on a select few sure does feel reminiscent of a certain Austrian World War I veteran. We'll see how far this whole Autopen excuse gets him, but it seems like he has chosen it as his method of attack. So now you guys know the defense. Just show them this picture of Thomas Jefferson's polygraph and laugh in their face. I'm Tony Hinderman with Really American, and I'll catch you next time.